Hello everyone. For those that don't know me, my name is Tony Allegro and I'm a social studies teacher at Enfield High School. I enjoy a warm cup of coffee, long walks on the beach, my dog Macy, and really enjoy classical historical films like Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Bad jokes aside, I hope you all had a great summer and are refreshed and energized to take on another school year. I want to take the time to thank Superintendent Chris Drezick for first canceling convocation and also giving me this opportunity to thank all of you for recognizing me as Enfield's Teacher of the Year by way of this personal video recording we have here. Although I was really hoping for some special green screen, maybe some sharks or Sharknado or those laser beams we used to have in school pictures in the 80s and the 90s, but I'm looking at Guy, I don't think that's going to happen. But either way, this is great and I'm honored to have this opportunity. In all seriousness, I want to take the time to thank all of you. I really mean that. And I do mean all of you, from the first year teachers that I haven't met, to the teachers, administrators, and staff members that are getting ready for your retirement, and everyone in between. You are all super important to me, whether you know it or not. You are all members of my community. And that's important to me in my life. You see, I am the definition of a homebody. And that's an important thing for someone that's been born and raised here. This is where my heart is. And as a student that spent his time in Enfield Public Schools, my days at Hazardville Memorial, JFK, and then being a proud graduate at Enrico Fermi High School, RIP Falcons, where I also met my beautiful wife for the first time. And then went on to go to college where I had a newfound appreciation for my hometown. When inviting my friends to my house during the summer months, they were confused about our town. We'd drive past acres and acres of tobacco fields, and they'd say, "Oh, so you live like in the countryside of Connecticut." And then we'd go through Hazard Ave and Elm Street where there's like a bajillion chain restaurants and stores, and they couldn't fathom that we were still in the same town. And then I'd take them on a little Tony tour through the suburban neighborhoods and through historic districts of T-ville and Hazardville and Enfield, and show them the Scannick Rapids and the Connecticut River, and they'd just look at me all confused like, "Why are you showing us all this? And this might be the weirdest place on earth." And I said, "It's awesome, right? We got like a little bit of everything here. This is great. I mean, you don't need to go anywhere else." So I truly love this town. I'm very proud of it. But besides living in a town that's rich in American history, which has been preserved well by a historical society and community members, and in turn makes an awesome place for a history nerd like me to live, we have great events like the 4th of July Festival, the Spring Splash, and the Scannick River. We definitely have an extreme amount of Dunkin' Donuts, which is absurd and also awesome. But the one thing in our town that truly stands out is our people. A community of over 40,000 people that amaze me every single day. The past school year in particular, I came to the conclusion and realization that I'm definitely the luckiest guy in town, without a doubt. And here are my reasons. Somehow, I was chosen for this award for Teacher of the Year, and I say this because I witnessed so many teachers in our district do so many amazing things this past year, that I was truly shocked to receive this award, and in my opinion, I can think of several teachers who I feel deserve this more than me. So I'm definitely lucky on that one, and very honored. But two, and most importantly, I feel like I'm the luckiest guy in town because I have the best colleagues in the world. This award really shouldn't have my name on it, honestly. I was able to do some really cool things, and special things this year in my classroom and as a teacher. But I have to be truthful, guys. I don't remember any of the first 3 months of the school year last year. You see, I had so much going on, I think I just blacked out and don't remember. I was so excited to start the school year that I hadn't realized I tried everything I wanted to do as an educator into one semester of school. And to be honest, I signed up for way too many things, was in way over my head. I was coaching the boys soccer team at Enfield High, go Eagles, working hard with my colleagues and students on the youth vote debates for the Town Council and Board of Ed elections, starting a new diversity club at Enfield High School with my colleagues as a member of the Diversity Task Force team, was an executive board member for the Enfield Teachers Association, running a $2,000 fundraiser for the Connecticut Children's Medical Center with my amazing students from my Community Action Learning class, helped some awesome 4th grade students at Prudence Crandall with their Kid Governor contest, who by the way are rock stars, as well as their teachers at PC. Organized clothes and canned food drives for local community organizations, mentored some super cool students during my Eagle block and after school, hung out with my colleagues and students in creating a film club so students can have a break from their regular school activities during their lunchtime. Although Bill and Ted's never quite made the list. We'll work on that. And I think I taught 6 classes somewhere in between there. Oh, and I had a really cool, beautiful dad moment where my baby boy Milo was born in September, who really didn't like to sleep, like at all, for the first 3 months of his life, while also having a 2-year-old daughter and an amazing wife at home. Most of those things I do not remember so much, but the amazing things I do remember was somehow making it through a school day with only an hour of sleep, so tired that I would actually forget that I had made coffee across the hallway at John Coleman's office, only to have Secretary Linda McIntosh come into my room to give it to me moments later, while having a good chuckle about how dumb I could possibly be. I remember somehow having hundreds of copies and worksheets and lessons on my desk, but had no idea how they got there, because I know I didn't make any of them. But my awesome social studies colleagues took it upon themselves to make the copies for me without even telling me, because they knew that the no sleep struggle was for real. And I do remember every day after my son's birth how awesome my first period class was, starting off the school day by asking me how my son was doing. And also remember my first period class somehow knowing that I only had an hour of sleep, probably just by looking at me, and would actually tell each other to quiet down in the morning without any instruction from myself, while usually following up by saying, "Don't worry, Mr. Allegro, we got your back. We know you didn't get any sleep last night." To me, those were real special moments, and why I'm considering myself the luckiest guy in town. And I realized something truly great about my life after those 3 months. I realized that it didn't matter what I was doing, or how many things I was trying to do, but the only thing that really mattered to me was who I was doing all these things with. In the end, these people, teachers, students, administrators, custodians, lunch aides, paraprofessionals, secretaries, and fellow community members somehow managed to turn my crazy life into the best year of teaching I may ever have. This award should really have about 100 names on it, and my name probably the last and the smallest. Without the members of my school community and my colleagues, I would never, ever, ever have been able to accomplish everything on my wish list this year, or probably survive a single day of school, to be honest. Which leads me to my third and final reason why I'm the luckiest guy in town. I'm living the dream, guys. I know it's a cliche and it's kind of corny, but I'm serious. I knew I wanted to be a teacher ever since I was in first grade in Janet Kirby's class at Hazardville Memorial. It was cool that she taught me how to read and write, and I suppose that's really important. But she was such a great human being that, to be honest, it really didn't seem to matter what she was teaching me. I was just so happy to be in a class with her. As a young kid, I had so many interesting things going on in my life, and I just felt compelled to tell her everything, every single day. From Ninja Turtles to Transformers, and she listened to my every word like it was the greatest thing she'd ever heard. And she did that with all of her students. Mrs. Kirby was so awesome that she sent me a birthday card every day from the time I was a first grader to when I was a 32-year-old man. Baffles my mind, as about after 25 years old, I forgot my own birthday sometimes, so it's amazing how she could remember. Bless her soul, Mrs. Kirby passed away 2 years ago. I went to the memorial service and was blown away. I saw myself surrounded by hundreds and hundreds of former students. So I talked to them and come to find out they too received birthday cards every single year since first grade. Then Mrs. Kirby's daughter brought me over to these black boxes that were in the back of the funeral home, and what seemed to have hundreds of names with addresses of her former students that she would send birthday cards to. This is my first grade teacher. She was crazy awesome. She made every single student feel like they were someone special. Who knew a simple birthday card would be the thriving force that would define my career and the rest of my adult life? But my amazing education I received from Enfield Public Schools, gotta plug our own brand here, didn't end there. I had awesome middle school teachers, high school teachers, an awesome high school soccer coach who'd become my mentor and be the inspiration to be a soccer coach one day. Every single year, I had new, awesome role models that I looked up to and would be inspired by. I wanted to be Mrs. Kirby. I wanted to be Mrs. Tunstall. I wanted to be a history teacher like Mr. Steiger. I wanted to be a cool teacher like Mrs. Corsati. Yes, Marilyn, I'm talking about you. I wanted to be Mr. Fahey, even though I was terrible at art. I wanted to be Mr. Doobie and Miss O'Connor. Miss Mrs. Spencer, Miss Janitis, the awesome reading teacher formerly known as Miss Connick when I had her in JFK, Coach Russell, Mr. Napoli, Miss Scrippen, and now I'm just rambling, but I could go on and list about 100 teachers that made me the person I am and educator I am today. Again, I am a homebody, and after college I didn't want to be just any teacher. I dreamed of being a teacher alongside of those that I thought and still do think are the most interesting people on the planet. And today I have the dream job. I live it every day. I come full circle from a student to a teacher in this town, and now I have the opportunity to be one of those names in another student's life. To me, that's something so unbelievably powerful and moving. I mean, seriously, by the end of your teaching career, how many students will you have taught? We are literally talking thousands of people. And you and me, we have the chance to be a hero, a role model, a lifelong inspiration, a Mrs. Kirby in every single one of these stories, each belonging to those thousands of students. You cannot tell me that there is a better profession than that. There isn't. Of course, these beautiful moments sometimes get overshadowed on days when you have a classroom full of students after Halloween, and all 25 of them just seem to have devoured 10 Snickers bars for breakfast. But even taking that into consideration with the challenges we face, there is nothing better than being an educator. Nothing. And can I just talk about our students for a bit? These kids flat out inspire me. This past year, I had students rally a community. I'm talking calling businesses, restaurants, friends, politicians to unite for causes they felt passionate about. Over the course of 1 year, roughly 30 students raised over $4,000 to help our local veterans and to help community members who were spending their winter holiday season at the Connecticut Children's Medical Center. They created an awareness campaign for local veterans in need. They've raised money for local families that were having trouble paying medical bills. That was just 30 students I had in one class during 1 year. Simply amazing. I saw many of our other students work at food shelves and helping teachers collect donations for our neighbors so they aren't out in the winter without warm clothes. They rocked the vote on election day, ran voter registration drives, organized and ran debates for the town council and board of ed candidates. I saw students that were courageous enough to stop bullies in their tracks in the hallways, to stick up for other students they didn't even know. I saw students have amazing and powerful discussions about racism, politics, discrimination, world peace, civil rights, ways to end school violence, and a much more civil and mature manner than many adults I've ever seen in my lifetime when they try to tackle important issues in society. I got to share the joys of seeing one of my students who refused to go to prom because he said he didn't have any friends, but got the courage and went out of his comfort zone and went to the prom and crushed it. He got back to school, and I was his proud audience when he told me how excited he was that he had made new friends and had never been happier in his life. I got to share the joys of seeing a student, a soccer player of mine, who moved here from Iran, leaving his father and almost his whole family members, and sacrificed everything that was important to him in his young life just to move to Enfield, Connecticut with a relative so he can be an American citizen and get an American education. Not only did I get to see the student graduate, I had the opportunity to celebrate and congratulate him when he received his acceptance letter to go to UConn. And I go on with similar stories. I could go on with similar stories and how students inspired me to be a teacher and a better person, but I don't have enough time. I just had to give them recognition for being such courageous young people, because I don't think this generation gets enough respect in that regard. The future is bright. But anyways, if you haven't shut off the video by now, I'm going to try and wrap things up by going back to the beginning of my speech. I know I overloaded myself with probably too many things to accomplish in one school year, while probably picking the worst possible year to try and do all these things, but I really felt an obligation to do it all. And I could probably have done more if I physically could, and I wanted to. You see, this town, this community, has given me something, and to be honest, everything important that I have in my life, from receiving an awesome education that would lead me to this profession, to giving me a place and opportunity to learn and play the greatest sport on earth, which is soccer. It's facts. It's science, guys. There's no debating it. Which would give me the opportunity to then live out a childhood dream of playing Division I soccer in college, to being the employer that helps me provide for my family, to being the setting where I'd have the best memories of my life, from going to the first prom where I learned the Macarena. Just wait, it's going to make a comeback, guys. To my first fireworks at the 4th of July, and my home where pretty much all of my large Italian-American family still lives, and where I I met and still hang out with and even work with the same friends that I had when I was in kindergarten. I literally owe this town everything. So that is why I could never say no when someone asked me to start a club or be a part of a new committee. Aaron, don't get any ideas. Or to organize a community event. You see, now is my time to give back. Now is my time to give my students the opportunity and the same wonderful memories that this town gave me as a child. Now is my time to make sure that every student has at least one person in their life that makes them feel like they're something special in this world, like the 100+ teachers on my list had done for me. That's just what educators do, right? We want to change the world, fix all the things that we think are wrong in life and broken, like how these weathermen can't predict a snowstorm. Like, why don't we just come up with a 3-hour delay? Thank you, Chris, for fixing it. Teach kids about our favorite interests like math, science, history, whatever favorite subject you like to talk about, and to simply make a difference in someone's life. We do it every day, but we never do it alone. We do it with our colleagues who look out for you when you walk into school looking like a zombie. We do it with our administrators who pick you up on a bad day by recognizing you for your hard work when your district wins the Red, White, and Blue Schools Award, best civics program in the state, Enfield, Connecticut, right here. Through all the highs and lows we may go through as people and as teachers, we make a difference every day because we do it together. Just remember, when things are tough this school year, that you are in the best possible place to overcome your challenges. All you have to do is stop and look around, because there is nothing more powerful than a room full of educators, especially the ones in your building, sitting probably next to you right now. And I know from 34 years of experience, there's no better place to be than surrounded by those that are in our community, here in this weird, awesome, farm, shopping, suburban Dunkin' Donuts town that I'm very proud to call my home. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for taking the time to pretty much hear my whole life story at this point, and for giving me the honor as your 2018 Teacher of the Year. It really means a lot to me. Have a wonderful and inspiring school year. Go Eagles. And now that I'm on camera, I just want to give my quick shout outs real quick, and a special thanks to everyone that made this year so special. Kelly, Brian, Jen, Courtney, Gray, Lisa, Todd, Linda, John, Gorberino, Ed, Cindy, Nicole, Anna, Mr. SPC, Alex, Mike T, the Barretts, Mary, Ashley, Diversity Club colleagues, All-Star administrators, Joel, Aaron, John Coleman, Connell, Matt, Laura, Altressa, Jay, Corey, main office secretaries, third floor custodial staff, the All-Star central office staff, head honcho Chris Drezick, Andy, Michelle, Megan, Guy for doing this video with me, Enfield Teacher of the Year Committee, the Board of Ed, thank you for giving them this job, and to all my former teachers here in Enfield, my wife, my kids, my super awesome parents, and last but not least, my inspiring students, and my EHS soccer players. Adios, y'all, and have a great, great school year.
I know the fears that your elders grew by, and so please help them with your youth. They seek the truth before they can die.
Teach your parents well, their children's hell will slowly go by, and feed them on your dreams, the one they picked, the one you know by. Don't you ever ask them why, if they told you you would cry, so just look at them and sigh.